The first 3 videos I made for this channel are a series of instructional videos on the easy way to lose weight and stay thin. They're good videos, but there is one major downside, and that is that they're 20 minutes long each, roughly speaking. So that's an hour's viewing in total. And whilst they're good videos, and I strongly recommend them if you are carrying extra weight and you're desperate to lose that weight, I appreciate that that's a big ask. And so to help with that, I've set myself the challenge for this video to do a 10-minute version of those 3 videos, to compress the information to just 10 minutes. So wish me luck. Here goes. The easy way to lose weight and stay thin is a psychological approach to weight loss. It's not about the nuts and bolts of what food you should eat and what food you should not eat and how you should exercise or even how much you should sleep or when or whatever. It's not about your physiology. It's not about your biology. It's not about food science. It's a psychological approach. And it is completely dependent on 3 words, a 3-word commitment that I'm going to urge you to take today. Make this commitment, hold to it solemnly for the rest of your days. And these are those 3 words. I don't snack. That's it. By only ever eating meals, you transfer the way you think about food from being this firestorm of contradictions, the temptation to eat all this food that surrounds us, that's pouring out of the factories, and then the knowledge we have, this hazy, fuzzy, web-like knowledge we have about science and nutrition and good health, and weighing these up against each other. This is a firestorm of the Western mind. We transfer thoughts like that about food to simply looking at your watch, simply looking at the clock. It's a bit like the game, What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? All you care about is how long is it till you eat. And this is a great release. It means that if you do feel a bit peckish, you're not thinking about these competing ideas that torture all adults in the West. You're just thinking about, is it dinner time? And that's a simple proposition. It's a binary question. Is it time or is it not time? Is it a 1 or is it 0? And most of the time it's going to be a 0. Most of the time it's not time to eat. In which case the information that then comes into your mind is, well, how long? 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And again, this simplifies the way you think about food. Instead of thinking about food like a complicated 21st century Western adult, you think about food like a child. Oh, goody, not long till dinner. Say it's a 1. It is time to eat. Then what? Well, then we need the corollary. So the commitment is, I don't snack. A corollary is a statement which, appended to a prior statement, qualifies the statement. And our appended statement is, don't pile your plate too high. Now we're going to attach numbers to that. These will be 3 numbers, 1 for each meal, and they are calories. And they are the amount of calories each of those meals should never exceed. I'll tell you how to do that right now. What you need to find is a calorie calculator. There's plenty of them online. The one I recommend is the BBC Food Calorie Calculator. Enter those terms and it will return the BBC's version of a calorie calculator. It might not be the best, but it's the one I'm most familiar with, and it will serve our purpose adequately. There you'll be invited to enter in your height, your age, your sex, your exercise level. Be accurate on that 4th one. It's very important that you don't exaggerate. And then your weight. This will be your overweight, your current weight, your present fat weight. But enter it anyway, because this will return 2 pieces of information, which will be very interesting. First of all, it will give you your current BMI. That stands for Body Mass Index. If it's 30 and above, you're obese. This is very dangerous. But if it's 25 and above, you're overweight. And you should do something about it. I mean, the mirror's telling you this anyway. The weighing scales are telling you this anyway. Now you've got a BMI screaming at you, you're overweight. Do something about it. But perhaps more instructively, above that, you'll see a number which is your reference intake. Now that is a number in calories, the amount of food you are eating each day to maintain that overweight. That's how much you've been eating. Of course, that's not a target. You don't want to eat that amount of food from now on. You need to reduce that. This is the corollary. Don't pile your plate too high. So how do you find out what should be your target reference intake? What should be your target weight? Well, we start with our target BMI. Now, one surprising thing about BMIs is that the maximum safe BMI, healthy BMI for you depends on your race. If you're, like myself, white, Caucasian, of Western European descent, then the maximum healthy BMI is 24.9. Elsewhere in the world, it goes down, 23 for many people around the world, and 22.2, for instance, if you're Chinese. So you have to look it up for your own ethnicity, your own race. But don't go for that top one necessarily. Go for one a bit below there. That'll give you a bit of slack, bit of headroom, means you can alternate by a pound or two either way and not feel too worried about it. Personally, I go for a maximum BMI of 24.4. That's my target BMI. Now, what do we do with that? Well, we have to aim towards it using the calorie calculator. So again, run it again through the calorie calculator, entering your height, your age, your sex, your accurate exercise level, and then guess at weights. Keep guessing at weights until the calculator returns your target BMI. For me, at 24.4, the accurate weight for my age, height and sex is 11.5 stones exactly. And that is my target weight. But more instructively, my target reference intake, which is also displayed, turns out to be 2,272 calories. That's a very important number to me. It's a number I don't forget, and it's a number I find very useful. So what do I do with that number? Well, I divide it into 4 parts. They're not equal parts. There are your 3 meals and something I call your headroom. Let's do the meals first of all. Just by way of illustration, my numbers are for breakfast, 240, give or take. For lunch, 650, again, give or take. And then for tea, for my main meal, 1,000 calories. Those numbers are seared into my memory. I know this going into the kitchen or going into the restaurant or the cafe or the petrol station to pick up some sandwiches. I know those numbers and I know that I must not exceed them on any given day. Now, if you've done the maths on that, you'll see that that falls quite far short of 2,272. In fact, it's 1,890. So that leaves me with nearly 400 calories each day left over. And that is my headroom. I plan for that. And how it works is from Sunday to Thursday, I eat roughly 400 calories less than I'm allowed to eat according to my reference intake. Why do I do that? Well, I do that to save it up for the weekend. I call this my alcoholiday headroom. Now, I like to drink alcohol, like a typical Western European. I don't overdo it, but I do enjoy a good drink with friends and family. So I need a rule to control alcohol intake because it's not only bad for me because it's a poison, etc., but it's also very calorific. And this rule is I only ever drink alcohol on Friday nights after 6 and Saturday nights after 6. Any other time of the week, I don't drink alcohol. I'm teetotal. That's what my alcoholiday headroom gets used up for. It gets used up for drinking at the weekend, maybe a large meal, larger than the 1,000 permitted calories on Friday or Saturday night. Could be a pizza, might be a curry, might be someone's barbecue. It's okay though. I'm allowed to do that. Why am I allowed to do that? I've got this rule. Don't pile your plate too high. Why am I suddenly allowed to have a big pizza? Well, it's an ancillary rule. And this gets me onto how do busy people lose weight? This is all in my second video in this series, but very briefly, what we're talking about here is the fact that we're social animals. We like to be social. We're compelled to be social. And that means we have busy, chaotic lives with lots of people making demands on us, lots of traditions jumping up into our calendar, and just lots of things that we like to do, things we like to join in with. And much of that involves breaking bread with others. A lot of that involves enjoying great merriment and a bit of overeating and some drinking. So we need to accommodate these irregularities in our life with our ancillary rules. Let me give you a couple of examples. You may have a demanding boss that insists that you work through lunch every so often. You've got your lunch, it's in the kitchen fridge there, ready for you to have. You're looking forward to it, it's your middle meal, you're looking forward to it. And then your boss says, you've got to work through lunch. You now only have time to grab a Kit Kat from the vending machine, and that'll have to see you through till tea time. But you're snacking. You're breaking the rule. I don't snack. Well, if this happens from time to time, you need an ancillary rule that allows you to have that snack with impunity without feeling any guilt. And you're going to need more ancillary rules to get you through your year. One of mine is Christmas. Christmas Day and Boxing Day, boy, do we overindulge. Well, both the rule, I don't snack, and the rule, don't pile your plate too high, they go out the window on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. I ignore I don't snack entirely. But only on Christmas Day and only on Boxing Day, come December the 27th, I'm back on it. I don't snack and don't pile your plate too high. So you're going to need to set up your own ancillary rules, assuming you can do that, assuming they work for you, and assuming you can stick to your commitment and the corollary. This is the easy way to lose weight and stay thin. If there's anything you feel I missed out there, or if there's anything you feel I rushed over and compressed too much, you can check out the first 3 videos in this series. Like I say, it does take an hour. I've managed to extend that 10 minutes to a full hour, but I do go into quite a lot of detail as to how you can make this work for you. Alternatively, you can message me. I will answer you. Any questions you have, put them in the messages below this video, and I will answer those questions in full. If you are overweight and you've tried lots of methods to shed that extra weight, you could well be at the end of your tether with all this. And you may be listening to this with some skepticism and incredulity. I urge you to try it. It's a simple commitment. I don't snack. Don't pile your plate too high. Your ancillary rules. I think it will work for you. Might not work for everybody, but it worked for me. I find it very easy to keep the weight off. It's not as easy as doing nothing about it, but it's the next easiest thing. Just give it a go and let me know how it works for you. And good luck.